what is your unpopular opinion about
Let's start
motherhood?
with you.
I think mothers should be paid for being mothers. Like it should be in law. Like you should literally earn a salary for being a mother.
Yeah.
It's the politics of motherhood.
Welcome to the politics of motherhood.
Because everyone has an opinion about motherhood.
I'm Lynette.
And I'm Washuka.
And Washuka, what are we talking about this week?
This week we are talking about something that can be very beautiful and daunting in the postpartum period.
And what's that?
Breastfeeding.
That thing. I know in the first episode, you gave a very useful tip about breastfeeding. And that was just so magical. And I can't wait to start using my nipple cream before the baby gets here. So before we dive into that, what is your big win this week?
My big win this week is I visited a chiropractor.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's stuff that I read about on the internet.
My body is thanking me for it, to be fair.
How does that work?
So she just aligns your bones pretty much. Your backbone, your pelvic, or she or he. Basically your bone structure. And it's quite important because when your baby, well, now that I'm pregnant, right? So you want your baby to engage well in the pelvis, right? My pelvic bone was actually kind of dislocated. So one side was higher than the other one.
Interesting.
So she was able to correct that. It has helped with my back pain.
I can imagine how, especially this time when the back is on fire.
Yes, exactly. My pelvic pain is also reducing. Nice. Yeah, so I'm hoping to have one more session before I give birth. And then we see how that goes. But it was incredibly relieving. Oh my goodness.
I am glad to hear that. And I look forward to potentially trying it out.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. You really should.
Okay.
Your big win?
Oh, my big win is I am now 20 weeks pregnant and just coming out of morning sickness.
Oh.
It has been the longest and the most annoying thing. I still can't eat avocados, which I'm very, very upset about.
Wow.
Because I love avocados and I generally eat avocados every morning. But with this pregnancy, I haven't been able to eat avocados. But I no longer have nausea, which is amazing. Like it's amazing to know that I can eat and go and not
have to wait
and sit and feel my body and think about, am I going to throw up? Am I going to be okay? So I think that has been a big win.
So when you're having nausea, were there any hacks that you were doing to manage it? I know people chew ginger, I think.
Later on, like much later it was actually in the early second trimester. So at the start, I discovered masala tea.
Okay.
Like you can buy the masala tea bags or loose leaf. I love loose leaf tea. And just make masala tea. And in the morning, just have like a strong cup of masala tea.
Okay.
And that really helps. But it's not like prevention for a whole day. It's like in that moment. Yeah, it stops it.
Right.
But otherwise, I've just been flowing with it. But finally, I've gone about 4 days now with no nausea at all, and I feel like I'm winning.
That is a big win for sure.
Yeah,
and I think we should get tips from our listeners on how they manage their nausea. Fun fact: I've never had nausea in any of my pregnancies.
That is the best. I think in the first one it was very mild. The second one, I couldn't brag anymore that I had mild. But the third one, I was like, all day, every day. Yeah.
But you know the interesting thing is, when I used to have my periods, I used to have nausea.
Oh, really? That is so interesting.
I used to puke my guts out.
Oh, wow. You paid for your sins.
Yeah, I did.
Early on.
I believe so.
So you were spared.
Hey.
And speaking of tips, do you have any useful tips?
Well, now that I'm in this journey of pregnancy and delivery, my useful tip is get yourself a doula or a midwife. Yeah.
How's that? In the last episode, you mentioned that you had a doula.
Yes.
How's that experience?
Amazing.
Yeah.
She really played a role in my postpartum journey. So it was a bit more manageable. She helped quite a bit. So get yourself a birth doula and a postpartum doula.
Yeah, someone who's just thinking about you and taking care of you.
Exactly. Yeah. So they'll be able to help you with birth prep. And also when you're going to give birth, they'll be there with you, showing you techniques to manage the pain, and just be there, just a support system. Because sometimes your husband can, panic and
listen. Have you watched those videos of husbands passing out in delivery rooms?
Exactly. Yes. So get yourself a midwife / doula. To support you during the birth and also post-birth.
Yeah, support is very important. It's very important to have, someone who's there.
Yeah.
And who's just walking with you and also helping you understand, like, this is where you're at. This is what to expect. This is where we're going. Here's when to panic. Here's when not to panic, and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's your useful tip?
My useful tip is about our little friends called mosquitoes.
Okay.
Especially when you have children. It's the thing that you'll be woken up about at night. Interestingly, yesterday we were coming from somewhere and my daughter was like, Mama, do you remember that time I went to visit, so-and-so's house and they had so many mosquitoes? And she was almost crying. I was like, but you can't control, what goes on in other people's houses or the environment you're in sometimes, so you can't feel bad about it. But the useful tip is get you window mosquito nets.
Okay.
I used to have the mosquito nets that you hang on the ceiling. So they're drilled into the ceiling somehow.
And then it falls down.
Yeah.
Covering the bed. Yeah.
And they're very good when you co-sleep with a baby because they give you enough space. You don't have to worry about folding and stuff. It's like you're in this big space that has a baby, has you, doesn't interfere. But then those things collect dust, a lot of dust. So, and I noticed that my kids were coughing a lot, especially at night, like as soon as they go into bed, because then you disturb the net a little bit. The beauty is you could buy shears and use them, and it worked out well. But then the amount of dust, and my kids were coughing all the time. And I was like, why do they always cough when they go to bed? And then I discovered it's because of all the dust and stuff. And I got rid of them and got this guy who came and installed the window mosquito nets. They're magnetic or something. There's a way they install them very beautifully. And I can't wait for the hot weather so I can open windows at night. Because I'm looking forward to it. It's such a lifesaver that I don't have to worry like, oh, it's 4 p.m. We need to close the windows. We need, to do all that. And it's just been amazing. It's just been amazing.
Cool.
So, and now the bedrooms look bigger because they also don't have a lot going on. So yeah.
You know what? I hate mosquito nets. I really hate mosquito
nets. There's a time
nets.
I couldn't sleep without a mosquito net.
I can't.
Maybe because I hate mosquitoes more than I hate mosquito nets.
Well, let's fight.
I hate
fight.
Those 3 a.m. fights with pillows, and you're trying to figure out where is it, where did it land, and why is it here? No. I would rather 100 times put back the mosquito nets than fight with mosquitoes at night.
Okay, cool stuff. So I guess you can dive into today's topic.
Let's do it.
And breastfeeding. Yo,
that is...
It? So, okay, so in hospital, they wheel you in your baby, and you're told to breastfeed.
Yeah.
Like it's meant to be like the most natural thing.
How are you a mother if you do not know how to breastfeed your very first child?
Yeah.
Huh?
How?
I mean, elephants in the wild do
you've
it.
Lost it. No one taught them.
Instinctively, they just started breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And you're a human being. You should be smarter than that. Yeah.
So?
No.
Yeah, it's not that straightforward as we always hope it should be. So how was your experience?
Well, for me, it was a mixed bag. One, of course, in the hospital, you handed that baby. No one, and I remember complaining a lot because I was like, no one came to tell me anything. They just gave me a baby, and I'm expected to just put this baby on the nipple, and they're supposed to know what to do. Like, baby knows because baby comes with something.
Reflexes.
Yeah, some reflexes because they're hungry. They need this more than I do.
Yeah.
But I was like, is because you're stressed out about a lot of the things you've had. Latching. Is the nipple size okay? Is it
inverted? Is it pointed?
Yeah. Is it... There's just so much information about nipples and breasts and milk that is not given to you in a structured way. So put the baby and the baby starts pulling, and of course at first you're like, what is that pain? Why is that painful?
You felt pain?
I did because that first pull was, interestingly, now at 20 weeks, the other day I noticed that I am producing cholesterol.
Yeah.
And I was like,
is it like this? Clear, or is it?
It's yellow.
It's yellow.
Super yellow. Yeah.
Mine comes out clear first.
No, I did not see the clear. It was just one day. I'm like, what's all that yellow? What's up? Oh, yeah, I know what that is.
Should start harvesting. You know.
No, that's too much pressure, man.
No, come on. You can use it even on your kids when they have a flu.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that might.
Magic.
Okay, when they have a flu. So anyway.
Even your husband, can just put it in his coffee, you know.
Yeah, I've seen some people like bake coffee with breast milk. Yeah. And even now I'm like, I've tested my breast milk.
And it's very sugary.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone because it's so sweet.
It's so disgusting.
You're like,
sweet.
Why are you this sweet? You know? Anyway, so started. It went well then afterwards. But of course I had cracked nipples, which was the worst. It was like, even now talking about it, I remember that pain. Like it just goes through, like it permeates through your entire body and just, you know. But luckily I had a lot of milk, and luckily it was like an oversupply. So I had engorged breasts at a point, and I did not know. And because like with first baby, I did not talk to anyone about it. I was like, you know, there are people buying formula and I have milk. Yeah. So I can't complain. I can't tell anyone that I have veins from here to everywhere. And then my breasts went into my armpits. Ooh. So my armpits were very swollen. Ooh. Like could not put my hands down because like, yeah.
Yo, girl.
And I did not know what was going on. And that is why generally I'm always very careful about what I put in my underarms, because I'm always conscious that my breast tissue actually goes there. And my underarms are very sensitive. So like sometimes I can use some deal that then I find that I'm swelling and that they're painful and stuff. So yeah, so it was the first 3 months were the ghetto. Yeah. If I'm being honest. Okay. It was very like, I was very full. And then I started pumping, which was something else. First of all, you start with the wired
the way you're clamped into the socket.
Let me tell you, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was beautiful. And there's a part of me, like if I list the top 5 reasons I've had more babies, is
breastfeeding.
You do miss part of that. Like when the baby's here and you can see them like dozing off. And
the clicking sound when they're drinking.
Exactly. Like there's
cute.
You know, granted you have to wake up every 2 hours at night.
It's so satisfying.
But it was. How was your experience?
Yeah. Before I go there, I wanted to ask, so since you were able to deliver vaginally, did you have this, they call it the golden hour, where you have, first of all, you have delayed cord clamping, and then you have chest skin to skin with your baby, and then your baby crawls to your boobies and they just start suckling. So now they don't do the weighing and the wiping after you deliver. They do it later,
Yeah.
1 hour later.
Yeah.
Did you experience that? Or is it just an American white people thing?
Well, the crawling to you,
Yeah.
I've only seen in an Indian documentary that I did not experience. Delayed cord clamping, I've also seen in American documentaries.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, these doctors need to be in the next room. Now, if I tell them to sit here with me for another 5 minutes for the cord to be white,
to stop pulsating,
I might not be able to pay my bills. So, but you can tell in hospitals, there's always that rush of like what you want versus what you actually get. But to be very honest and fair as well, I never quite thought about it. I never quite thought like, because maybe that did not happen, that there was this impact on my baby. So I never felt the need to include that as part of it. The wiping of the baby instead of washing, that I had a bit of like a struggle with, because I thought like babies, and again, unfortunately, a lot of the experiences we have are experiences from movies where you see like a clean baby is handed to the mother and, it's like, oh, that is cute. No one tells you that some hospitals, they're like, no washing of the baby for 24 hours, which is quite useful for the
no
immunity.
washing and also wiping.
Yeah. So it's actually no washing and no wiping. So you're handed a baby as...
They're white.
They're white. They're a bit messy. There are a few bloodstains here and there. And off to your room. And so the first one, like, because I gave birth at like 3 a.m. So there was no wiping or washing that entire day until like the day I was being discharged, which was 2 days later. And then I was like, no one has come to wash the baby. No one has come. I thought I was at a spa. And no one was, and they're like, oh, okay, first of all, it's not been like 24, 48 hours or so. So we can't wash the baby. And then I was like, okay, so no one has taught me how. This is my first baby. I was there pleading with the nurse. It's my first baby. I don't know how to wash a baby. I'm my last born. I have never washed a baby.
Yeah.
So I need somebody to actually show me. And they're like, okay, come with me. We went to there's a wash station. And they're like, okay, here's the soap water. Let me know in case you need anything. I'm like, what? I need you to wash this baby.
Okay, I feel like I want to ask what hospital that is so I can avoid it.
Yeah, but it was so dramatic. For my second one, I was like on the bell. I need a nurse to help me do this. So there's a lot of expectation, I think, especially for first-time moms, especially for women, that you should know how to naturally do these things, and no one talks about it. But the biggest shock for me was, I did not have any golden anything. It was everything was just a shock, left, right, and center. The only thing, and I would say even now, we talk about birth plans and the things. I only have one item on my birth plan. With the first baby, I was like, oh, I'll do, music, Celine Dion. I'll do all these things. This is what I want the doctor to do. And then the one thing I was never thinking about happened, which is after a vaginal birth, you have to be sewn back together because there's some tearing. Not always, but sometimes there is. They did not do it well. So I had to get like a second procedure done. And for the second baby, I held the doctor's hand and I was like, listen, this is the only thing I ask of you.
Stitch me up properly,
because I'm not doing this again. Because it was really painful. Like
imagine.
The first 6 weeks before you actually even discover what's going on. So, and I do think that's the only thing I still have on my birth plan for the third.
Stitch me up.
Yeah, just stitch me up properly. I'm good. I'll be a good patient. I'll not give you any trouble. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I think it works in Europe and America because if you choose a private room, that room is for you to deliver and
so everything happens there.
So everything happens there.
Yeah.
But here, what I've seen is
there's separate
there's separate rooms. So I guess it's only one delivery room.
Yeah.
If there are multiple women coming in, Manze, you just need to move along. Need to move along for the next one to come. Okay, I guess I honestly want to experience it. But maybe I'm romanticizing it too much. But you know what? my everything that I want for my birth is valid.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And everyone's experience is of course different because of the first experience you had. It's informing the second one, and also for me, like even as a vaginal birth person, that experience has influenced the second one and the third one. Yeah. So so it's valid. There's really no. It's the politics of it all. I remember I once went to a baby shower, and this lady just stood up and was talking about maybe glorify, like, you should try as much as possible to have a vaginal birth because, and it was like, but sometimes you have no control over it, so you really can't put that level of expectation on someone. So so different experiences influence people differently. But I'm curious to hear about your experience, but more importantly about your experience also as a C-section mom, because sometimes I hear that affects like meal supply. Did you experience that?
I did. Like, granted that prior to giving birth, I was having some fluid. Apparently that's actually milk. That's food for the baby. Yeah. But still, it took maybe like three days for my milk to come in properly. Yeah. I remember I just got wheeled out. I'm high on morphine, on codeine, and God knows what else they put in my system. And I'm brought for a baby. Higher. Breastfeed. I'm like, yo, I don't know how to do this.
This is yours now.
Yeah. But luckily, in the hospital that I delivered in, there was a lactation consultant. So she showed me how to do it, because of course I'm from a CS. I couldn't sit up.
Yeah.
So I had to do it side lying. Yeah. Of course, I was holding the nipple wrongly. You know how you suppose this naturally you end up when you put your nipple between your index finger and your middle finger. That's you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, no. I attended a class, like is it a Lamaze class, where they say do not do the scissors, and I was like, okay, scissors. No scissors. Yeah. Okay.
So I just found myself just doing it because it just came naturally. Yeah. But anyway, they helped me, and of course my doula was there, and that's why I just referring to the useful tip for this episode. Like, getting a doula really helps because they're also most times lactation specialists as well. So they support you even during your breastfeeding journey.
So maybe during the interviewing of the doula, you'd like, what's your experience?
What are your qualifications? Yes. Yes. Yeah. So milk took quite a bit of time to establish. At some point, the baby was even being given formula. I remember I told the nurse at some point, take this baby
and make sure he's fed.
Yeah. And bring him back to me when he's asleep. Yeah. Because I was actually very tired. I was high, I was tired. I'm like, no. I think my milk is not doing the thing.
Yeah.
But I think one misconception we have is we always think you need that much milk in the early days.
Yes.
But you don't.
Yes. Because I was going to ask you, like, what is milk? A lot of times we associate milk with being the white stuff.
Yeah.
And
even very clear stuff.
Exactly. The very first days or hours, the clear stuff is actually milk. Yeah. It has the nutrition that is needed. Yeah.
And it's for milk,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's part of milk.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's just that I wanted plenty.
Yeah, because that's
I'm scared of my baby being hungry.
Yes.
So I just wanted plenty. Yes. And also my mom had put this thing in which, like, you need to have plenty of milk. I'm like, okay, it's clearly not plenty.
What is plenty? How much is plenty?
But luckily, by the time I was coming out of hospital, 3-4 days later, I could breastfeed my baby comfortably. Yeah.
It's good to be able to do it under no pressure, because also, like, when you start stressing about it, cortisol rises in the body, and it also affects that. So as much as possible, I had to keep talking to myself to be like, don't be stressed. You know, if you stress, don't think about anything else. If you do, this is going to affect this. And I had to keep like talking. So when I was engorged, I was like, maybe I need a bit of stress. I need just a bit of stress to reduce this supply. But then those are the moments where you're like, okay, maybe I am lucky. And I think I remember, because my first baby was during COVID. So formula was, first of all, not available because of shipping issues. And whatever was available was very expensive. So, because I remember one day I was, because of, you know, my milk issues, my husband was like, should we maybe just try formula? And I was like, have you seen the price of formula? Just go to the supermarket and then come back and tell me if we still want to go down that, you know. So it's such a crazy moment, especially when it's your first baby, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And the annoying thing about breastfeeding that I found is it's such a game of hormones and your mental state.
Yes, it is.
And I hated that so much because you're just stressed like this, milk goes.
Exactly. And that is why we also talked about the first 40 days being like, we just need to bring that back as a culture.
Yeah, agreed.
Because if you're out there thinking about other things, you are definitely going to be affected.
Issues.
Yeah.
That's so true. But even then, I remember when my husband's paternity leave ended and he had to go back to work. I don't know why I was stressed, but I just became so stressed. My milk just went down, poop.
Yeah,
and I'm
dude,
like,
you need to come back.
Yeah. So I had to learn ways to manage my stress, to increase my supply, and just to be zen, literally just be zen.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And the thing that a lot of people don't also talk about is it is a separation type anxiety, I think, of your husband leaving you with a baby that he's also responsible for just after you've had the baby. And like you're thinking, and I think for me, like motherhood softened my heart too much that I start overthinking about things, and I'll be like, what if you go and you die? and you don't come back, and you know, so you have to really find a way of reducing the stress of it. And one of the things in the one Lama's class I went to, which was really good, was they talked about like nipple creams and all that. What was your hack around it? Because I know there's like nipple cream, there's the silver shield, there's all these things that you can buy to make that experience much better.
For me, my biggest hack was my doula.
Okay.
Period.
Done and done.
And luckily I didn't struggle with inverted nipples.
Okay.
So no need for nipple shield. I mean, nipple cream I was starting 3 months ago.
Yes, so you were already in this system.
So every time baby feeds, I reapply. Every time I need to pump, I finished pumping, I reapply. And that brings me to the question: at what point or how soon did you introduce the bottle to your baby? Babies.
This will sound like I'm bragging.
Yeah. But
my babies were never bottle fed.
No way.
Never. Not never,
milk.
But not until my first one. The first bottle she put in her mouth was like at 15 months.
What?
Yeah. And that is because I had to travel for work. And the second one did it at like 6 or 8 months. Also because I had to be away. And when I was away, I was pumping and, you know, like bought these coolers and stuff. Luckily, it was in country, so it was easy. But my kids, like, did not do the bottle at all.
Wow.
Not like everything I pumped was kept. And then until like at 15 months, I had a freezer full of milk that we were like using milk to cool the bath water, doing the most basically.
Yeah.
But both my kids were just latched on my boob the entire time. So at no point did I, like also bottles really freaked me out. And maybe that's why like I had to like keep myself. Because I was like, what if I'm not cleaning them well? What if I'm like, do I need Milton's, all the
sterilizing tabs?
Yeah, sterilizing tabs.
Yeah.
And I think maybe because the first one was like a COVID baby, there was just so much unpredictableness in the world we're living in, or we were living in at that time, especially around like supply chains and like, what if I start and then I can't sustain it? And what if? So a lot of that like just pushed me to, if we have to natural survival, that's exactly what we're going to do.
Wow.
Yeah. What about you?
I introduced the bottle the minute we got home.
Okay. Yeah.
And the reason why I did that, okay, of course he was taking my milk.
Yeah.
It was expressed milk.
It was in the bottle, yeah.
Not formula. The reason why I did that is to give me a bit of freedom.
Yes.
So I was able to sleep in. So my husband could take care of his feed at a certain. So we had a whole schedule.
Yeah.
Of when he would feed and when I would feed. But majority of the time it was me, but there was times when he would
be responsible for that. Yeah.
So for me it was literally just to give me peace of mind and some freedom. Yeah, so I introduced it as soon as I got home. I pumped, put it in a bottle, and he fed. I was able to sleep for an extra 2 hours.
Yeah,
and
that's
I was
really
so happy.
important.
Yeah,
it is. I think, to be very honest, I had trust issues. I don't think they've gone away in terms of someone else taking care of. Like, I remember even the nanny at a point was like, "Can I just wash the baby?" I'm like, "No, it's okay. I'll wash her. Like, there was an instinct in me that wanted to be there for every single thing. Just also, I was on this scientific experiment of recording every single thing. Like, breastfed on the left, breastfed on the right, change the diaper, soiled, not soiled, was it full, not full? Like, I wrote a whole blog post about it. Like, I had all this data about everything that happened. So one, I was on a scientific experiment, so I needed to be observing at any point. But there was just a part of me that was like, I need to make sure like the baby is backed properly after a feed. I need to make sure, that just that trust of only I would know. And of course, there's, how tired you get from all of that. And maybe that's why I don't complain about it, because that was self-inflicted. So I was like, if he has to wake up at night to warm the bottle, to, get the milk and everything, I would have just put the baby here 2 minutes. Sometimes they just cry because they want to still feel that you're next to them. And I was like, it's just going to be much easier if I just did it. And so I co-slept with the baby, and I perfected the art of raise your hand, put the baby back to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's how he does not know how to
bottle
feed. Yes. So I think I had, and maybe I'll put it down to trust issues, but also because I intentionally had a lot of support around me in terms of the system of during the day, if I need to rest, if I need to just be in bed for a whole day. So I also felt like I was not doing a lot of anything else. So like, this is my thing and I'm just going to do it. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that you are on an oversupplier.
Yeah.
So you didn't have anything special that you used to do to increase your supply?
No.
So you're So how does oversupply work? Is it you have a lot more prolactin than most women?
I don't know. I feel like I haven't, for someone who studies everything, haven't taken enough time to understand it. I did not. In fact, even, your mother will always be like, "Are you taking enough uji?" And that's porridge and the either sorghum or finger millet, porridge and stuff, which makes you so hungry, so you end up wanting to eat everything.
Yeah.
I stopped. I was just on regular diet. The nanny I had then was big on traditional vegetables. So, managu, saga. That's when I learned about kazira and like all these vegetables. So she would make this mix. And that's all I ate. And I did not change anything. So for me, like an oversupply is baby has been feeding for like 20 minutes, just latched on. When they finish, as soon as they unlatch, they still like milk just pour it, like jets of milk, just like boom. And
you're still having a letdown.
Yeah, there's still a lot coming out. And I would like pump a whole bottle, both sides, after
how many mls?
I forget how big those bottles were, but it was like, was it
it's
200
to
250 or something like that?
330,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
And I would
so if it's a big one, it's 330 mls.
No, it was the mid ones.
So 270.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. 250 to 70.
Yeah. And I would still do like one on each side and, see you in 2 hours and still the same thing.
You still have milk.
Because I went through so many nipple patches, because they would just be like, I would sleep with them, wake up, bed is a mess.
Yeah.
And it was a lot. It was a lot. As I said, it might sound like I'm complaining. I'm grateful that I was able to do that. But it was like, you have to think, like you have to wear something that keeps them in place. You wake up, they're all full, and you have to. It's just
painful.
It's a lot of.
It is painful. So did you do anything to manage? Because engorged breasts are a thing. So, did you do anything to relieve your pain? I didn't do anything.
I'm very thankful for the very first nanny I had, because she just had all this experience, and it was like boil water, hot towel compress. So you just go into the bathroom, very hot towel, like kutskayu hot, and just express everything. Because if you also like pump it out, your body is also like, oh, we actually
we actually need this milk.
We actually need this milk. So it was go in with a hot towel to loosen up like the milk valves and veins and stuff, and just let it pour out naturally without anything pulling on it. Because when you pull, body
means
brain
baby.
is like baby is needing, like that's the feeding pool kind of thing. So it was just express and then fill the bottles, bathroom, hot towel. So it was a lot of work.
So on the hot compress, did WHO have updated their recommendation?
That's no longer valid?
Yeah, I use a cold compress these days.
Oh really?
Yeah.
How will that work?
It works.
When I used to go to the gym more actively, I remember, because like when you get hot, you put ice and stuff. And one of the trainers said, no, actually you put a hot thing and not a cold thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I guess that's So okay, cold WHO. Compress. Maybe we'll give feedback.
Yeah. And there's people who say you can use cabbage as well to relieve.
I came to find out about cabbage much later, but I never used it. So I don't know if that actually works. Does it work?
I guess I have not tried it. I didn't have that problem. Okay. I just used to pump out when my boobs are engorged. But I've had cabbages do work.
What was your pumping experience? Did you have like
I hate pumping. Oh Lord. I hate pumping so much. I used a wearable pump. I didn't use
isn't that the best?
Very
I only
convenient.
discovered that with baby number 2. And like I remember once I was traveling and just on the plane, just go to the bathroom, put them in,
So, yeah.
come back and sit and just like, look at us.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah, it is. I know lactation specialists don't recommend that you use it as your primary thing, primary pump.
Yeah.
But I use it as my primary pump, honestly. I didn't
convenient,
get
it works.
the thing that you carry with the motor, the medellas and stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I just used my wearable. It was very efficient, very effective.
Yeah.
So with pumping, of course, I don't know. Maybe did you do power pumping?
I don't know what any of those things mean.
Yo.
I just know I used to pump after a feed. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't, and with the first pregnancy I had the manual pump, and then I went into the plug. And then I had like 3 sets of pumps because the manual pump, because of like how much I was doing, it was very exhausting. And then when I did the wearable, I was like, okay. So for me, it was always after a feed. So I never pumped like before or off unless I was like away from the house and stuff. And both my kids were fed until they were like 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So personally, I had a pumping schedule, and I would target times when I know prolactin is high. So studies show prolactin is going to be high in the wee hours of the morning. So between 2 and 6. So I used to wake up at 2, pump. And at that point in time, I have my warm water. I used to drink so much water. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think that also helps. Hydration is really,
with
really
breastfeeding.
good. Yeah.
I used to take like a pumping session of 20 minutes. I would finish 2 liters of water.
2 liters in 20 minutes?
Yes.
What was your pee schedule like?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that is, yeah.
Always peeing. Yeah, so my 2 liters of water, drink it as I'm pumping, and I would collect maybe like 270 mLs on each side. So I've taken advantage of high prolactin levels. So I had to be smart about it because I really hated pumping.
Yeah.
I just needed to do it once. I could not do
when you
after
know it's gonna be
at peak where it's most efficient. So prolactin levels are high. I'm relaxed. It's the middle of the night. No one is talking. Everyone is asleep. So I'm relaxed. I'm hydrating, and I get a good amount.
Yeah,
I'm good. So I actually was able to build quite a huge stash from just that one pump, and my son's rate of consumption was slower than the amount of milk that was there. So the stash got so much.
Yeah. Sometimes you're like, I need to stop because this is a lot of milk.
So what I did, I donated.
Oh, I have been wondering about that because I did not know that you can donate stuff I only used to see in documentaries. Because I'm like, I wish I could donate this somewhere. But then where can you donate to?
Well, I don't know if you can mention them now in this time, but then of course,
but their places,
guys reach out.
Yeah,
I could be able to share. But I personally used a lady she does foster homes in Nanyuki. So she doesn't have like a home for kids, but they're in foster homes. So she usually gets the milk from donor moms and she distributes in the different homes.
Nice.
So from newborn babies, they're able to get breast milk.
That is so beautiful. Yeah.
So they need to check. There's criteria.
Of course.
For them to check. And one of the things that they check for is hepatitis.
I know that in some of the documentaries that I watched, because I was really curious about it, is they have kind of like a controlled environment where they know the moms, so they do all the checks on the mom before you actually are enrolled. So you actually enroll to become a supplier.
It's like a milk bank.
Yeah. So exactly to a milk bank. So I thought that we should have a milk bank. Maybe that's why I did not know about it, because I thought like there should be the same way we have blood banks.
I think Pumwani does.
Okay. I'll find out, so that if with this one I'm still,
oversupplying,
then then I have a place to take it. And here's an interesting fun fact. Again, I watched this documentary that when you have boys, or when you give birth to a boy and when you give birth to a girl, the milk composition is completely different.
Yeah, I mean,
that boy's milk has way more cholesterol. It's much thicker, and like there are all these things. It's way more nutritious than when you've given birth to a girl. And it's, for me, it's just kind of the miracle and the beauty of just of life, you know, and the human body and how that works and stuff. And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I think one thing I learned during my breastfeeding season is learn to trust your body.
Yes.
Because there are days you'd feel, hey, my milk is not enough for the baby.
Because you're on a particular schedule and
but the baby gets full.
Yeah. First of all, that's the day they don't even cry.
Yeah. But you as a mom, you're touching your boobs, you're like, they're not full.
Yes, they're feeling so soft.
Yeah, feeling so soft. But just try. You just need like 2-3 letdowns, and baby is good.
Exactly.
Is satisfied completely.
And that's the thing. In my, I think in my family, my mom's side especially, like the women tend to have very big breasts. So like my cousins, my sisters and stuff, like generally. So I can imagine sometimes, you know, you're like, but they're not as big. Now imagine that as a full breast. What it does to your back, because that's another thing with when you have an oversupply, because your boobs are always full, it really hurts your back. So you need like good bra support. And one of the things that I also read was the impact of wearing like wired bras on milk supply, that they actually do cut off the supply, like the blood supply into the breast, so they affect milk supply. So you should, as much as possible, try not to wear like a wired bra.
Are nursing bras, are there any nursing bras that are wired? I think they're all...
No, nursing bras generally don't have wires, but because of our need for beauty and packiness and things, like people tend to like, oh, I'll just wear my regular bra as long as I can, you know, take it off or whatever. But yeah, that's, you also need, in addition to the body, your breast needs to be relaxed. You know, it can't be compressed and stuff, and then, you know, because suddenly it's also, the tissue gets stressed and stuff, there's not enough supply, and then, you know.
Okay, interesting. Wow. I want to bust a few myths that...
great.
Now that you're in an African context.
Let's do
you know
it.
how they bring you uji?
As I said, do not
jahe,
bring me...
black beans.
No.
For those who don't know what jahe is. No. That one, I did not subscribe to that.
No, my mother-in-law tried.
Yeah.
She really tried.
No, they will bring for you. That's the thing. They'll bring for you, by the way.
But one day she just asked me, do you actually enjoy them? And I was like, because we're different cultures. And I was just like, I did not grow up eating them. So I find the taste a bit too dry. Just to be honest and to save her the trips. So she started bringing me minji, green peas.
Green peas, yeah.
Which I really enjoy. Like I love peas. So that I really enjoyed, and I just kept it. Yeah. So there's some foods that are, and I think sometimes it's also what you are used to versus what you don't like. But yeah, drinking uji and jahe was a no for me.
Me too.
Yeah,
I did not.
I feel like they just made me hungrier.
Yeah.
Speaking of hunger, breastfeeding hunger.
Yo, it's a monster.
How was that?
Hey, you eat breakfast at 8:10, you're hungry.
Yeah. You're like, I just ate. Like, the plates have not even been cleared. I know you
need another portion of food.
But why do I need more food?
And the thirst as well.
Yes.
It's real.
Yes. And I think for me, in terms of like being kind to yourself, because that's also the time you gain a lot of weight. But you need not all, but some of that weight, you know, to be able to support even the supply of milk. And I think there's a lot of misinformation around this, especially when we talk to women about like snapping back, so what's your plan, mommy makeover and stuff. And then on the other side, which in my conspiracy theory I call it big milk. It's like, oh, mommy, you can go and snap back so that we can sell more formula and your baby is fed, don't worry. But if you're doing like breastfeeding, part of the stresses you need to avoid are you should not be hungry I think during pregnancy, eating for two is a myth, but during breastfeeding, you really are eating for two.
Well, yeah.
Because during pregnancy, your body is going to take what it needs to take to sustain the baby. But then during breastfeeding, if you're not feeding your body enough to produce milk, you're not going to have the milk. Like now, because you now literally have to externally sustain, this little being.
Yeah.
So breastfeeding hunger is real.
It's a real thing.
And it's the worst feeling in the world because you're like, I know I shouldn't be eating this much, but I know there's a lot of information that when you're breastfeeding, you're burning X number of calories.
You're waiting for the part to go. I'm like, he's not going.
That one you have to work on it. You have to work on it. Yeah. But I wish society was kinder to moms, and kind of gradually, ease them into motherhood, into the breastfeeding phase, and out of it. But we don't have those, and I don't know who or whose responsibility it is to give us those tools, or if there's even a formula to it. But I think it's very brutal because everyone, again, the politics of it all, everyone is trying to do their thing.
Yeah.
And different people have different ways of doing it. But I find that it's very, very frustrating.
It is.
Yeah.
So now that I didn't eat your jahes and stuff, what worked for me was bone broth.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
First of all, made in a yummy way. Yes, with a few carrots, some salt.
Yeah.
That's it, nothing else.
Bone broth.
Maybe 2 potatoes. And then it's good. Yes.
Hydration. I used to take so much water.
Yeah.
I think in a day, in 24 hours, I would take 8 liters of water.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on that. I'm like,
I would do 2 liters in the morning.
Was it like flavored water?
No, plain water.
Yes.
And it was hot. It had to be, I don't know, but I
even now I can only drink hot water.
There's something about hot water and breastfeeding.
Yes.
Yeah, because when I take cold water, it's not the same.
No, cold water generally, because during pregnancy, you either want very cold water, like ice cold, or very hot water. Even if you can't just drink it, you just want to see it's there. It kind of has like a warm, fuzzy feeling to it. And during breastfeeding, I still can't stand cold. Now breastfeeding, I can't stand the very cold water or lukewarm water. It's just the warm water because it has a feel good kind of thing to it, I think. Yeah.
Perhaps. Yeah, I used to just take hot water. That's what worked. When I take cold, it doesn't work. I used to do this smoothie for oats and watermelon. Only.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like raw oats.
You just have oats and watermelon
blended. That thing works. Oh.
Listeners, because you can't see this, I am confused.
People say it's an acquired taste, but I really enjoyed it.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you like dragon fruit?
Not really. I feel like it's such a bland fruit.
So you don't like it more because it's bland?
Yeah, it's too bland. It looks so cute and fancy, and then you eat it, you're like, gosh, am I eating a coconut?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but you see, the oats...
No, for me, I think dragon fruit is a bit disgusting. So maybe that's why
it's not bad, but it's just bland.
Maybe that's why I'm going with this. Maybe the people who can stand dragon fruit and maybe find it bland would enjoy an oats and watermelon.
No, but just think about it. The watermelon has sugar. It's sweet.
Yeah.
So it elevates the smoothie.
I think it just... maybe I'll just try it and then I'll let you know. Let me not be too judgmental.
Just try it.
Yeah,
try it.
Maybe, yeah.
You'll try it when you give birth.
Yeah.
No, it really worked. Like if you take like 3 glasses in a day,
it could be the magic
that day,
pill.
Water works.
Oh,
milk
really?
works, if you could say. Yeah.
I mean, moms out there, just have you ever tried this? Let us know.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Mm-hmm.
Did it not work? It could be the magic pill.
True.
Because there's like lactation cookies that have.
I didn't do lactation cookies. And
is it
cakes
barley inside or something? Like some people say you could even drink beer because so there are different things that you could do because
and Ovaltine. I used to take a lot of Ovaltine.
Yeah, I've heard of Ovaltine.
It has a barley in it. So
the barley, and I was like, that sounds but I already had my problem, so I did not want to exaggerate them in any way.
A good problem.
Yeah,
you had good problems.
I don't need to think about this.
No, Ovaltine. I used to take Ovaltine quite a bit. And the thing is, you're taking hot drinks, and then it's also very hot. Hey, I used to sweat.
What month is your baby born in?
September.
Okay, yeah.
So it was hot. We used to just stay. At some point, I was just staying with my bro, and I'm like,
but
it's my house.
It's my house. I can do what I want to.
Do what I want to do. Because it would get really hot. Because you're taking hot drinks. That's why you're constantly also drinking a lot of water.
Yeah. I'm doing in December, and I'm actually worried about how hot it's going to be, because that's going to be super hot.
Yeah. All the best, man.
Oh wow! I mean, we'll make it one way or another. We will have to make it. But it's quite interesting. Sometimes I wonder, especially for moms who did not have a chance to breastfeed, and please let us know if what your experience was, and who have had to do like the full formula and all, like that really scared me. Like if I had to do full formula, and I know that of course there are moms that don't have the opportunity to breastfeed. There are those that just decide that they do not want to breastfeed, and they're just gonna do formula all the way. But just the prices of baby food is very
crazy.
It's and you think, oh my goodness, they are going to eat this in like 2 or 3 days and it's done.
They get through a tin in a week, right?
Yeah. And you're like, that is so, and it goes back. I talk about that, or I speak about that because of that sometimes how people are told, oh, children are very expensive, because sometimes it's also looked at from that point of, you're gonna buy diapers, you're going to buy formula, and you're going to do all these things. But especially when it comes to food and nutrition for the baby, I don't think that there's enough support around how can we get mothers to produce milk or to do this, or a milk bank, for example, where milk can be donated, and for people to just have peace of mind when it comes to that. So it's quite crazy.
I feel like crazy. Formula should also be one of those things that's subsidized as well.
Yes, it should be. It should. I don't know why, especially as a country, there's some things we look at. And I guess this is the political part of this. There's some things that are looked at as luxuries,
but they're not baby's nutrition.
Yeah, so maybe they should be prescribed by pediatricians. You just go and your ped writes a note, so you go to the pharmacy and you get it subsidized or something, because it's so amazing to think that there are people who are stressing out about what their baby is going to eat, and it's really expensive. It's really, really expensive.
I always say fed is best. I mean, if you can do breast,
yes,
breast is best, but fed is really best. Like, you just need your baby to be fed and to gain weight as they should.
And there are many babies who are also like fed on formula and they're fine. Because there's also a lot of fear mongering that comes with it. of course there are the extremes, but then they're alive, they're fine. And think about like families where maybe the mother died while giving birth.
Yeah.
Or
what will the father do?
Exactly. What are you? The baby will not die because of that. You have to look at that. But breastfeeding is both beautiful and very challenging at the same time. And it's one of those things that you're like, wow, I can't believe I did that, but I can't believe I'm gonna do that again.
Like waking up every 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a season of cluster feeding. Every 30 minutes, they're on the boob.
First of all, the cluster feeding is the word.
Yeah.
My second daughter she would be there for an hour. Like you'd literally be like, and she's completely asleep. But as soon as you try to enlarge, the end, she's awake, she's screaming, and then now that also made sleep training very difficult because like every 2 hours she knew we started sleep training her at 14 months. But she knew every 2 hours she's awake for a feed. And it was so difficult. It was really, and then the guilt that comes with it, like, am I starving my baby? Am I, because I fed her every 2 hours for 14 months. And at a point you're like, am I starving this child? I'm like, no. So day one, sleeps, like cries and then sleeps. And then you make it through one night, you're like, you're not gonna die. We are fine.
Yeah.
We are fine. But I have a question. What is your opinion about breastfeeding in public?
Oh, yes. Yank that boob and feed the baby.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I
don't even like the concept of what are they called, covers, nursing covers.
Oh yeah, the nursing covers and everything.
No. The only place I would cover myself is when I'm in church, just because the priest is there. He's it's a situation
close proximity of your neighbors.
So
and
like, I will cover. And I used to cover just my boob. I never used to cover the baby because I mean, when you're having a meal, do you cover yourself?
No.
Yeah.
just a little something
feeding.
on your
just
neck
over
or over your life. Yeah, that's the thing around. Yeah.
But I'm actually just feeding my baby. But when I'm out and about, and I'll also cover in front of my dad just for the respect.
Yeah.
When I'm out and about, out.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but I usually used to get a bit confused when I'm seeing moms covering up, and I'm like, should I be covering up as well?
And it's also a
but
lot
the thing
of
is,
work,
I didn't even have a lesson in my bag to cover, so I'm like, whatever.
I think sometimes you're a bit like, I grew up in the village, and like you're just having a conversation and someone just boob out and baby is on. So it was very confusing for me because I was like, whoa, why do you need to go into the bathroom to feed your baby? Like, first of all, why are you feeding your baby in the bathroom? It's very unsanitary there. In a
do you eat in the bathroom?
Or,
No?
in stuff. And I also found that we, as women, especially in the African context, are also losing a bit of that battle because of influences that we have around what other people out there do, because in the West there are like restaurants that do not allow children. There are restaurants that do not, like, there's debates in parliament about whether women can or cannot breastfeed children in public. And to think that there's a house of policymakers that has to discuss this, for me is such an interesting thing when you think about motherhood, and how sometimes like it's policed just generally. Like, you can't even feed your child in peace, man. Like, someone has to say, yes, you have the permission. It's not like peeing in public, which men get to do. And it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
But as we wrap up, I think this has definitely been a very interesting conversation, and hopefully there's a listener out there who's learned a lot from us and from this particular episode, because breastfeeding is really like one of the most important things as soon as your baby gets here.
Yeah.
That next to making sure the baby is wearing socks. But then it's also one of the most confusing things. And, we hope that, that mothers have a safe space to do it and to learn about it.
And it was not touched on, when moms go to work and breastfeeding.
Yes. No, very quickly, as we wrap up, what do you think about it?
No, I think employers should provide the necessary equipment and rooms for moms to express the milk.
Yeah.
And store it for the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not very many employers do that. You find women pumping in the store or in their cars.
I think it takes like the first mom to have a pumping experience for people to like, okay, what do we do? How do we do it? Where do you do it? I
remember like when I resumed work and they had provided a nice room. But of course, it would be like a really dark room. First of all, it's so dark. There's no air. There's no circulation. There's no ventilation. Yeah. And then the tap wasn't working because one of the things that they should provide for is running water according to law. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, so there's actually no one who thought that this room should be functional.
Exactly.
For the mom.
It wasn't designed for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, definitely your milk supply will dip.
Exactly, because if you're not doing it as you are at home, for example, or in an environment that feels safe for you and encouraging in that way, because as we say, like when you're doing it, you need to be so relaxed, then it's going to affect, that, plus you're doing it while thinking about the email you haven't sent out. So
exactly. No, I honestly feel as women, anything related to women and childbirth we need to take it more seriously. Like we need to actually enforce these policies and these laws, because providing that room is actually in the legislation, like it's actually law.
Yes.
And we need people to actually enforce it. But because it's women, we suffer through everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as we, the employer is nice enough to provide something.
I see they pay us at the end of the, we are okay.
That brings us to the closing section of the podcast, which is, what is your unpopular opinion about motherhood?
Let's start with you.
Great. I think mothers should be paid for being mothers. Like it should be in law. Like you should literally earn a salary for being a mother.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot that comes out of that. One, the fact that you are raising the future generation, and you need to be encouraged. I know we love our children and you want to do it, but especially like there are mothers who decide to be full-time moms. And they are, air quoting here, sacrificing their personal happiness and, going back to work and being fulfilled career-wise to raise these human beings that are going to be very fundamental and instrumental to society in future in a way that does not always directly affect them. So I think motherhood should be like
compensated.
It should be compensated. There should be a committee out there coming up with job groups for motherhood.
But just to oppose just a bit. I do agree with you.
Not fully.
But would you have the same outlook if it was a man? So is it mothers being compensated, or is it any primary caregiver being compensated?
I mean, when you look at it that way, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to this being any primary caregiver, because you can't also, or I can't make the argument that if there's no mother, then no compensation is warranted. But it's, primary caregiver. Listen, families with children need to be compensated. It should primarily go to the woman, but
if the woman is not there,
if the woman is not there for whatever reason, it can go to the man. But it should, I know there are programs around like strong starts and stuff that give like stamps to mothers for like healthy feeds and stuff. This should be money in the pocket. That's my controversial idea.
And the argument that you can choose to be a mother or not.
Exactly. You can choose to be a mother or not. But if you do, generally, when you're a mother, whether you think it or not, you're doing it for society. You're not doing it 100% for you. Yeah, there's fulfillment. They're my children. They're mine. There's a point they will not be yours. And if you do a terrible job, they'll be terrible to society, not just you. You know, in most cases, mothers will love you through anything. Society won't. There's a very big impact when children are not raised right from the beginning, or if they're not fed right. You know, when you think about social structures and stuff, if a child is malnutritioned, that's the government's problem. If a child is malnutritioned, that's the family problem. If lots of children are malnutritioned, that's the government's problem, right? So yeah, so I think whether you choose to or not, at the end of the day, especially if you choose to, you have an impact to society, and for that reason, society needs to make sure that it's done right and it's done well.
Well, I guess that's the politics of motherhood, right?
Yes.
Motherhood is existing in a system, in an economic system, in laws, in
exactly lots of policies, lots of social parts of it as well. So yeah. What's yours?
My unpopular opinion is motherhood can be incredibly lonely, even though you're surrounded by children. Doesn't mean that you're emotionally connected. Lonely is you just feel not emotionally connected. To people, because I mean we are social beings, right? As people. So when you're lonely, you're not connecting with people. You don't have that emotional connection. You are around people. It's a noisy environment, but that connection is lacking.
Do you think, I totally agree with you, but I'm also wondering, is it as a result of urbanization, for example, where, like me, if you grew up in the village, there's people around you, there's people who come to be with you, there's no appointments, people are there, they show up, you had a baby, we're here, it's what is expected, versus what time does the baby sleep? Can I come at 2? Oh no, I'll be working at 2. Can I come at 4? Oh, you'll be asleep at 4. What about Thursday? And so our urban systems have tended to push away people from around us. So we end up like mothering alone. So even when people are there, they're not really there. Versus in a more rural setup where people don't need appointments to come and be with you. Like, there are many things around it, but like someone can just come and make you food, and they can come and wash your clothes, and they can come and, versus like how we've automated a lot of the things now, and now we of course have to buy our communities in terms of nannies. So I don't know if that's part of it.
Yeah, it can be.
Okay.
Yeah, I see how it would be. And also, technology as well.
Yes.
Yeah. With social media, phones.
And I find that society is a bit more insular now. It's just like, I want to be left alone. It's me and my baby and my husband and our nuclear.
We're adopting the European American culture.
Which, to be honest, for me is very sad.
Me too.
Yeah. We need to go back to communities.
We need communities for sure.
Fewer appointments and more community.
But haven't you ever, just going back to the conversation on loneliness, haven't you ever been in a setup where, yes, you meet with people, but at the end of that interaction, you feel drained?
There's that. I think community also needs to be understanding. Like, you can be in my house, but I can be asleep. And that's okay. Like, you can be here, maybe you're just here to also be with my children. And there's comfort in knowing my sister is here. I can sleep. There's comfort in knowing my friend is in the house. Because I think where we go wrong is there's an expectation for you to entertain the people who come to support you. I have to make sure you're comfortable versus you're here to provide comfort and warmth to me. I think that's
cool.
Great.
That was a nice episode.
Let us know what you think. And see you in the next one.
All right. Bye-bye.
It's the politics of motherhood.